What is going on, everyone else? This is a short video on those of you who may be experiencing hip, low back, and leg pain in the morning. Maybe you wake up, it's been a long night, you've been tossing and turning, and then you move to put your feet down on the ground and just the low back just erupts with discomfort. And so here's some mobility exercises that you can do in bed before the feet swing down. So feel free to join me. I recommend practicing this before trying it in bed. Just notice how it feels on the floor, on the hard surface. And then as you're ready in the mornings, just start incorporating some of these and you may notice some of that low back pain abating. So feel free to find a comfortable seat. Just laying down on the floor, feet planted firmly. Again, if you're just waking up, this is easy. Just feet come down onto the mattress, knees point up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath into the nose. Exhale with a big sigh. We're going to start with a weird movement. This weird movement is tucking the pelvis. It's just the pubic bone reaching towards the belly button, and then the tailbone moving down to the floor. Close-up of that kind of looks like this, right? Where the pelvis is tucking and then extending. So you're rolling through the glutes, through the hips. And this might be a difficult movement to make. Right? So move as slowly, as carefully, as much as you can. You may not be able to get very far, and that's okay. Play with the range of motion that you have. Right? It does not have to be a large movement to be useful. We just want to start waking up these muscles in the pelvis. There's a standing variation of this as well, but it's useful to start on the floor where there's more support. And just allow yourself to continue rocking through the pelvis here. One of the things to look out for is the head moving? Sometimes as we move through the pelvis here, the whole body likes to roll along with us. Can you move in a range of motion where it's just the hips, just the pelvis? So let all of that be simple, let all of that be easy. And remembering to breathe. Whenever you've got this for your day-to-day, feel free to speed it up a little bit. Well, or shorten the number of rocks that you do. But when all of this feels complete, when you feel like this is a good amount of time, feel free to pause the video if you need to, if you want to stay and focus on this a little bit more. Just let yourself rest, taking a deep breath into the nose. Exhale with a big sigh. The desire to go back to bed may be settling in. So we'll do a little bit more movement to stave off those feelings. We're going to start by moving the legs, just one leg at a time. We're going to let one of those knees drop down towards the floor, and then we're going to let it move back up towards the center. And what we're looking for here is any movement in the pelvis. If you feel your pelvis start to rock and wobble, then it's time to bring that knee back up to center. Very simple, very easy movements here. We're waking the body up. We're helping to encourage the body that, hey, we're not going to hurt you today. We're going to work with you. Just a little bit of mobility can go an awfully long way. And so if you notice that pelvis rocking from side to side with you, stop the downward motion of the leg and return to neutral. Another thing that you may notice is the opposite leg trying to counterbalance by dropping down. So if you notice anything other than the leg that you are trying to move, moving, return back to that neutral position and try again. Moving in a smaller range. Sometimes slowing it way down can be useful. And then as you're ready, let yourself switch to the opposite leg. Just letting that opposite leg drop downwards. and then back up. I can switch to my other camera. And just let that leg drop downwards and then back up. And it's just that movement of the leg, nothing in the pelvis. If you notice any sensation, if you notice any discomfort, move in a smaller range of motion. Where does that pain begin? And can you move up to the point of pain and then back? Keep it all easy. No pain, not today. Just let yourself move and groove. Breathing. When all of that feels complete, when you feel about even on both sides, allow the legs to return to a neutral position and just notice how you feel. What, if anything, is different? Maybe taking a deep breath into the nose. Exhale with a big sigh. Then we're going to play with that connection between the pelvis and the rib cage. So what can be useful is placing the middle finger on the top of the pelvis and the thumb on the base of the rib cage, just to fortify the position of these in the leg. Just feel the shoulders relax, and you're just going to very gently lift the pelvis off the ground, and then moving back down, or rather off the mattress, wheresoever you may be. Lifting up and down. You want to make sure there's not any tilting or rocking in the pelvis, that the pelvis is able to move straight up and straight down. If you notice any pain during this, go as far as you can without pain. Sometimes that means just pressing the legs into the ground without lifting on. So notice, where are you at? Where do you need to be for this? And this isn't about getting the hips as high as you possibly can. It's just lifting gently, making some movements in the leg bones and the pelvis. And then when all of that feels complete, feel like you lifted and lowered enough, let yourself return to neutral, taking that deep breath in. Exhale with a big sigh. Last piece that we're going to do. You're going to take one ankle, and you're going to place it on the opposite knee, so that way you come into kind of a figure four. If this hurts, skip it. Like, there's some other things that you can do. And let me know in the comments if a different movement is going to be accessible for you. So just let yourself hang out here in this figure four. And you can wave that bent leg, or rather the leg that's resting on the knee. Kind of wave that leg forward and back. And again, if there's any pain here, don't force your way through it. Pain plus pain does not equal getting better. And then as you like, let yourself rest, taking a deep breath into the nose. Exhale with a sigh. And then as you like, that foot comes down to the ground. Opposite leg comes up, placing that ankle on the knee. Take your time with all of this. Take a moment or two just to settle in. If you have to grab the foot and place it on the ankle, that's an indication that you should not be doing this. So if that is you, let me know. There's some other things that we can do instead. But if you like, you can just let that knee wave forward and back a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just feel yourself wave that leg You might notice some tension, you might notice some pulling. As always, only move in a range where there's no pain. If you're not sure if it's pain or not, stop and notice. Sometimes even asking ourselves, does this movement feel safe? Having a conversation with the body can sometimes be a useful and potent experience, albeit a bit strange. When all of that feels complete, let that leg return down to the surface that you are supported by, likely the mattress. Take a deep breath in. Exhale with a big sigh. Roll over to one side. Hang out there for a breath or two. And then let your legs swing down the side of the bed. Plant the feet firmly on the floor. And take just a moment to breathe there. Let yourself feel that connection between the feet and the ground. And then as you are ready, slowly lift up. I hope that was useful for you. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Always take some time to check in with the body to notice what is going to be useful to you and what isn't. Standing up and moving around can sometimes be a useful experience. So if there's any questions, feel free to ask me down in the comments. But until the next time, be well.